Hey guys, how you doing? I'm Matt Gear and you're watching Matt Gear TV. Today I'm going to show you a new type of power chord. Previously we've looked at fifths, sixths, thirds and fourths, and today I'm going to show you a chord with a ninth in. Now it's very similar to the fifth chord that we've looked at before, which looks like this, but what we're doing is we're actually adding another note on the top. Like that. So let's have a look at that a little bit closer so you can see how it's put together. Now previously when we've done the fifth chord, which is the power chord that most of you are familiar with, which is a root and then a string and 2 frets up, a fifth. Now there's two ways that you can look at the ninth chord. One way is actually 2 fifth chords stacked on top of each other. So if I start here, root fifth, if I then start on the fifth and put another power chord on there, so root fifth, but then play all those 3 notes together, that's an add 9 chord. Alternatively, you can look at it this way. The power chord, root fifth, we can actually, if we want to thicken that up a little bit, add the octave on the top. So we've got an octave here, 2 strings down from the root, and 2 frets up. And then we're putting the fifth in the middle. So that's the sort of full fat power chord, if you like. The root and the fifth is a little skinnier sounding. The extra root at the top fattens it up. And then all we're doing with that is we're actually moving the little finger up 2 frets to play that, which is the ninth. Now if you wonder why it's called the ninth, what we're doing is, if that's the first note of the chord, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, back to 1, or 8, 9, what you're doing is it's the second note of the scale, in this case major scale, minor scale, it's all the same thing actually, and you're just playing it up the octave. Another name for this chord is actually the suspended second, or sus2. The reason it's a sus chord is because there's no third in it, so it's got neither major nor minor tonality, so you can actually play pretty much whatever mode you want over this, because there's no major or minor feel to it, there's no third. Now compared to the normal power chord, this has actually got quite a bit more tension to it, but it's quite a positive, majestic sounding chord. It can work in a similar way to the sixth chord that we looked at previously, by giving movement to a riff. In the way that with the sixth you can either move the top note out or the bottom note down. You've got a similar sort of thing here, going from the 3 note root fifth root power chord. So what I mean is, from that chord you can either move the top note out, or you can move the bottom 2 down. And what that means is you can actually start moving a chord progression by having one note suspended from one chord to the next. So rather than with fifth chords, you're moving the whole chord shape, you can actually so what you can hear is which actually adds to the musicality and gives it a really good sound. So that's the ninth, and it's an easy one to play because you're just taking a chord that you already know and stretching it a little bit. Now, I was having a play around with this last night and actually came up with a bit of a riff. Now, sometimes people ask, how do you come up with riffs? How do you come up with song ideas? Well, actually, it's by doing stuff like this, playing around with new ideas. Sometimes, sometimes you'll get a thought that'll come into your head and you'll need to go and get the guitar out because you've got a melody or an idea or a rhythmic idea or whatever. Now, when I was playing around with this, just putting this lesson together, just a chord progression came to mind. And I started arpeggiating it and came up with this, which is a little lick, little riff idea. So you'll see how the ninth works, but also how just by practicing these chordal ideas you can come up with song and riff ideas. So check this out. I've stuck a stack of delay on and a bit of phaser as well, so it's got a bit of a sort of 80s sound to it. But here's just a way that you can turn these chords into something quite interesting. In this case, just by arpeggiating it and stacking a shitload of effects on as well. So, I've been Matt Gear, this has been Matt Gear TV, and that's been the Add 9 or Sus2 power chord. Go and give that a try yourself, try and work it into some of your own riffs, and try and come up with some progressions using that and some of the other power chords that I've shown you before. If you've enjoyed that, do subscribe to my channel. If you've got any questions, just stick them in the comments below. So, until next time, you guys take it easy, and I'll see you soon. Cheers.